Hi future nurses, today I'm just going over summary of endocrine disorders in order to help you to review endocrine system. So endocrine system is always very confusing but it's very important for NCLEX exam. So let's start with our pituitary gland. In pituitary gland most of the questions are for diabetes insipidus and SIADH. So SIADH and diabetes insipidus, both of them, they are caused by imbalance of ADH hormone. So ADH is antidiuretic hormone. So its role is to add water to our body, means conserve water in our body. So ADH hormone tell our kidney to conserve water. So if there is a deficiency of ADH, our kidney will not be able to conserve water, and that condition is called DI or diabetes insipidus. Patient will be producing a lot of urine. Patient's blood will be more concentrated, means there will be high osmolality of blood but low specific gravity of urine. So these patients, we will monitor them for dehydration because they're producing a lot of urine, and we give them more fluid to drink. We give them IV fluid if they ordered. And on the other end is SIADH. SIADH is a condition that develops when there is excess of ADH hormone. So as I said, ADH add water to our body. So when there is excess of ADH, then there will be more water staying back in the blood. Blood will be more diluted, and it can lead to dilutional hyponatremia, means low level of sodium in the blood because now blood is dilute, and urine will be concentrated. Patient will produce less urine but more blood is more water is staying back in the blood. So we monitor these patients for seizure because low sodium can lead to seizures. Our next gland is thyroid. So there are two conditions: hypothyroidism, means low level of thyroid hormone, and hyperthyroidism means high level of thyroid hormone. So what are thyroid hormone? T3, T4 and TSH is the hormone that control thyroid gland. So TSH is from pituitary gland. So when there is a low level of T3, T4, there will be high level of TSH. So it's always opposite to thyroid hormone T3 and T4. So in hypothyroidism, there will be low level of T3, T4, high level of TSH. So since thyroid hormone, they control metabolism. So if there is a low level of T3, T4, these patients will have low metabolism. And we monitor these patients for myxedema coma. Myxedema coma is when there is extremely low level of thyroid hormone, and it can lead to life-threatening respiratory failure. So that's why these patients with myxedema coma, they will be our priority. On the other side, hyperthyroidism, when there is excess of T3, T4, as I said, T3, T4 control metabolism. So if there is high level of T3, T4, there will be high metabolism of these patients. So they will have weight loss, heat intolerance, and we monitor these patients for thyroid storm. Thyroid storm is when there is too much T3, T4 in blood, and there will be super high metabolism. Patient will be agitated, confused, fever, tachycardia. So anytime patient with history of hyperthyroidism is exposed to any stress, or patient has thyroid surgery, then large amount of T3, T4 can be released into blood. It can lead to thyroid storm. So if you see patient with history of hyperthyroidism is more agitated, confused, having fever, tachycardia, that will be priority. Then parathyroid gland. So this gland produces hormone PTH that control calcium level in blood. So if there is excess of PTH, there will be high calcium in blood. So when there is high calcium in the blood, patient will have polyuria, where patient will produce a lot of urine. Patient will be thirsty. Patient will have anorexia, constipation. So we monitor for these. Hypoparathyroidism, when there is a deficiency of PTH. Deficiency of PTH means deficiency of calcium. Low level of PTH will lead to low level of calcium in the blood. So we monitor these patients for seizures. Next, our adrenal gland, they produce stress hormone, cortisol and aldosterone. So there are two disease conditions, Addison disease when there is a deficiency of cortisol and aldosterone. So cortisol, it mainly controls blood glucose, whereas aldosterone, it controls sodium and water retention. So it helps to retain sodium and water. So if there is low level of aldosterone, patient will not be able to retain sodium. So it can lead to low blood pressure. If sodium cannot be retained, water cannot be retained. Low sodium lead to low blood pressure, and low level of cortisol will lead to low glucose. We monitor these patients with Addison disease for Addisonian crisis when there is a sudden drop in cortisol and aldosterone, and it can lead to sudden drop in blood pressure. It's medical emergency. So if any patient with history of Addison disease is exposed to any trauma, stress, they can go into Addison crisis when there is a sudden drop in blood pressure, and these patients will be our priority. Then Cushing syndrome when there is excess of cortisol. So these patients will be obese, they will have truncal obesity, and they will have high blood pressure, high blood glucose, high level of sodium. And our last gland is pancreas. It produces insulin. Deficiency of insulin can lead to type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes. So type 1 is mainly from destruction of beta cells, and type 2 is mainly from insulin resistance. So there are two conditions that can develop from high sugar, DKA. This usually develops in patients with type 1 diabetes. So when there is high level of blood glucose, patient is skipping insulin, sugars will go too high, means sugar, blood glucose will mainly stay in the blood. Our cells are not getting that sugar. In that case, our liver start breaking fat and ketone bodies are produced. Acidosis is happening. Patient will have fruity breath, Kussmaul respiration, so that occur in DKA. HHS is another condition that develop usually over days. It's not sudden like DKA. So it develops in type 2 diabetes. Blood glucose will be more than 600. Patient will have polyuria, polydipsia, more dehydration compared to DKA. Patient will be more confused because of more dehydration. There is high chances of having seizure. We monitor these patients for more like seizure, confusion. And in DKA, patient mostly have acidosis, ketone, fruity breath. So you will get priority question if patient come with DKA, what will be priority? So in DKA, our priority is to restore circulation, means to give IV fluid. So IV fluid should be given first, then IV insulin can be given to bring glucose down. And in HHS, our priority is hydration, and there is no ketone, no acidosis in HHS. So there is difference in the care of both patient. Like patient with DKA, they will have different care compared to patient with HHS. So this is all about our endocrine disorder. These are the most important disorder that are usually tested on the exam. So I hope this helped you guys, and thank you for watching.